Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all well. So today is time to shop my stash. Now the last one I put up was about 3 weeks ago, and I just realised that doing them every month is just not enough to go through everything that I want to go through in my collection. So I'm going to try and do this every 2 weeks now. Once a week is probably not enough time to test all the makeup out. Once every 2 weeks should be fine. At the most it will be once every 3 weeks. Like I said, the last time I did this was 3 weeks ago. So let's get into the products that I used last month and talk a bit about them. Right, I did use this once or twice. It is part of my spring project pan. It's really nice. I do obviously want to hit pan on it, and it's just the Love Flush in Love Hangover. Yeah, there it is. Just takes a while to focus this camera. I didn't use this at all, so that can stay in. We'll take, no, that will go into my project pan side. So we'll leave this one in, and it's just in the shade Taupe. So that can stay in. I didn't use that at all. Obviously it's just a single eyeshadow, but in Wild Gold. It says it's a highlighter. It might be on someone, but on me it's not. So we'll leave that in. Didn't use that, so that can stay in, and it's just in the shade Luminous Flush. It's really pretty. Used this a few times, but it is new to me, so I do want to leave that in for a little bit longer. Now I pulled these out just because I wasn't too sure whether I was going to keep them in the collection, because it is bulky and they are really nice. So it's just the number 17 Dazzle the Night Shimmer Rocks, and they're just like a pearl shade, so I'm going to put them back. Same with this. I did use this a few times. I absolutely love this blush. Everyone knows what it looks like, but I'll just see if I can open it one-handed. It's just such a great luminescent blush. The Papadon Peach blush by Too Faced, so that one can go back as well. This is part of my project pan, so this one that will be staying in. I use this quite a bit. It's really nice, but I don't know why I got it. I'll be honest with you, I don't really do cream products, so yeah, I just want to finish that up really, but I've got tons of product left. This one as well I really enjoyed using. It's a Too Faced Soulmates bronzer and blush, Carrying Big. Really nice. That can stay in. Didn't get the chance to use this. I do want to use it just to check that I like it. And it's the Mountains of Gold eyeshadow. I'm just going to pop that somewhere else, so in this drawer, so I remember to use it next time. Didn't use this Kiko eyeshadow either. I'm going to do the same thing with that, and it's just in the shade 202. Didn't get the chance to use the Toilet Tease, but as you can see it is part of my project pan, so that's staying in. I didn't get the chance to use this Glow highlighter by New Look. What shade is it? Focus. It's in the shade Gold Rush. And also there's another single eyeshadow which is so pretty. I've not had the chance to use this yet either. It's the Dose of Colours Teal Me More. I think I've only used that once or twice since I got it around Christmas time. So that's what's happening. All these products are staying in. Right, so this eyeshadow palette, I've got to be honest, I wasn't impressed with it. Let me just open it up, or try to. Right, so it came from Primark and I got it from some birthday money in the sale. The gold is really, really nice. I've got to admit, I really, really do like the gold. What other shades did I like? I think the gold was the nicest one in there. And then this more bronzier tone and the purple. So it is worth keeping just for that, but it's also worth keeping for the cute compact. I love Disney, so I'm going to keep it for that anyway. The only way you can really get these shades to work is by using a setting spray and wetting your brush, just because they are so crumbly. So yeah, I am going to keep it though, but I am going to put it away back in the collection for another time. But yeah, I really wasn't impressed with it. I've got to be honest. And you know, it was cheap. I think originally it was about £8, and they put them down to £3. I understand why now, because obviously the texture and the formula of the eyeshadows, they're just, in my opinion, they're just really bad. So yeah, that can go away. Then there's this Revolution one. I've got mixed opinions about this as well. The mattes are really good. The highlighter's amazing. But when it comes to these shades here, they're not really that pigmented. So again, you know, I wet my brush and used this on the inner corner of my eye and that on the outer corner, just to give you that ombre look, and that looked really nice, especially when my mascara was on. I mean, if it wasn't for this, I'd probably declutter the palette entirely, but I do really like the highlighter. So for now, I'm popping it away in the collection. It might be getting decluttered at a later stage. Then we've got the Too Faced Eggnog Latte. Now I've finally tested these out. These have been in the rotation ages. And again, some of the eyeshadows work really well, mainly the mattes. But when it comes to the glitters, they're just really bad quality. I'm not the only person that thinks so. I've spoke to a lot of people who don't like the quality of these glitter eyeshadows in these holiday palettes. The blush is really nice. I really like the blusher in these. I've got another one which has a blusher in as well, but that's in my makeup stash drawers. But yeah, I am going to keep it. I do really like this green Central Perk. And like I said, I like the mattes as well. So it's not going to be one of those that get decluttered. It's a really pretty palette, but the glitters aren't great, to be honest. Then we've got the Too Faced Gingerbread Cookie Palette, which again has glitters in, and they've got some really pretty glitters in, like the Ginger Snap and also Winter Dream. So the gold and the lavender shades are really pretty. Again, it's the glitter shades that I really like, and you have to work really hard to get the pigment that I like, which you shouldn't have to do in a palette, but I do really like the palette itself. I like the matte shades and I like the bronzer, so I will be keeping it, but it will be going back in the collection. Right, then I have this LA Girl Pinky. This came out of my chopping block items. and I thought I might actually get rid of this one, but I really do like it. I thought the blushes might be a little bit too bright for me, and to be honest, that one is at the end. I can't ever foresee me wearing that one, but these three shades are really nice. The pink blush is stunning. The bronzer looks really orange on camera now, but I think it's, you know, quite a good bronzer. Not the best bronzer I've got in my collection, I'll admit, but the highlighter is really, really nice. If I do ever declutter this palette, I'll just probably take this highlighter out, so that can go back in the collection. Now, I didn't pull this foundation out, but I used it one day just to really get it out of, just to really see if the formula was still working, and it's nearly all gone. You can't see, and it's got a twisty cap, so I can't show you how much I've used. I'll leave that till the end, and you know, I am going to pan this because I'm nearly out of it. I'll leave it till the end and then I'll show you what that one looks like. So that's staying in the drawer. Then we've got this Mally Perfect Prep Poreless Primer. This one can stay in. I've still got quite a lot to go, and yeah, I'd like to use that up, but I have recently got an oil which I'm going to talk to you about later on in the video. So yeah, we'll just talk about these products that I've been using first. I've been using this palette quite a bit. Now, I put these eyeshadows, like these two eyeshadows in. They're new, like, well, not new, but they was in the other Z palette I had. They're really, really pretty duochromes, and I took an eyeshadow out just because there wasn't enough room, and then obviously I've used the Rockature blusher, and then we've got this really nice copper eyeshadow here. This will always stay in this drawer, I think, because I really, really like the selection. This BH Cosmetics Royal Affair palette I still haven't had chance to play with yet. I've been really sick for the last, I don't know, near enough 2 weeks now, so I've not been wearing a lot of makeup, but I did wear a lot before I got sick, so I'm just going to leave this in my drawers to use in the next rotation. Then we've got this beautiful, beautiful highlighter palette. I absolutely love this, and I can't recommend it highly enough. If you do see this and want like free highlighters, I would highly, highly recommend it. Just, I know it's a bit shaky, but I'm just going to show you what it looks like. I've shown this before on camera, but these highlighters are just so creamy. And just so beautiful. Like, this one is perfect for me at the moment. I could mix it with that one as well, but it's mainly that one come here for the glow that I use. I've not used it as many times as I'd want to, so I am going to leave it in for another rotation. Oh, I keep putting that plastic thing and marking that one. What's it called? Starboy. So yeah, I really, really do recommend this, and I think this was about £6.99 from TK Maxx. It wasn't expensive at all. I think I'm going to pop this one away, just because I want to pull some different blushes and some different highlighters, so I didn't really get a chance to use it this coming month, but I have used it quite a bit anyway. It really is a beautiful palette. I don't need to open it up, we've all seen it. It's the Becca and Jaclyn Hill Champagne Collection Face Palette. So yeah, I'm going to pop that away for a bit. Right, so this was also part of my chopping block items, and I really, really thought that I was going to end up giving this away, like, to a family member, but I really, really loved the looks that I came up with using this palette. I used this a lot, probably this palette I used more than any other palette during those 3 weeks. Probably used it for about a week and a half straight. I'll see if I can find some looks and put some looks at the end, just showing you what I created. They were very simple but feminine looks. I really did enjoy using it. So I'm going to pop this back in my collection. Didn't use this as much, but it is part of my project pan. I've got a few shades in here that I want to use as part of that, so I'm going to keep it in for another rotation. It will probably just stay in here indefinitely. So that's that. Right, and then we've got, I'm gonna go through this side first, because this is obviously part of like my project pan and also items I'm going to declutter. So this one was one of the lipsticks that I got for my birthday in February, just from Primark. They went down to £1, and they're the PS Velvet Whip Lip Cream semi-matte finish, and this one is in the shade Nude. Yeah, it's in the shade Nude, and I really don't like this. I've used it a few times and I just don't like it. It looks more like a lip gloss, but it doesn't look very nice on me, so I'm going to declutter that one. Then I have this Hourglass palette, and it's the ambient lighting palette in dim light, incandescent light and radiant light, which I can't get open, but it is part of my project pan as I want to use my Revolution one, and I've hit pan on 2 of the shades and hit side pan on what shade is it? It's a darker shade that I've hit side pan on. This is, I've hit side pan on Radiant Light, so this will stay in. I also thought that I'd just decluttered this, but it's so creamy still, and I used this a lot when I was putting makeup on, and it's the MAC Soft and Gentle, so that will stay in. It's obviously part of my project pan. If you haven't seen that video, I'm going to leave it on the cards. I'm just glossing over the products. Again, part of project pan, and it's the Pixie, it's like a brow tamer in the shade Transparent. That's part of my project pan as well. It's the Ciate Wonderland mascara. Really like that. Gives you like these really nice voluminous lashes. This is part of my project pan. It's from the Too Faced Love palette. It's just a black mascara, so that can stay in. Another thing that I'm going to declutter is this powder contour from Topshop. I didn't like the bronzer. The blusher is alright. The highlighter was really pretty, but I think it would just be a mess to take out and put in a Z palette, so I'm just going to give it away. Maybe my niece wants it. It's in the shade Hush, so yeah, I'm going to pass that along. Then I've got this, that's part of my project pan that I need to focus on in the next couple of weeks. This one here I'm going to declutter as well. Well, not really declutter, just put that in the bin, just because I think it's going out of date now. When I did try it, I used it a couple of times when I tried it. It was very runny, and it's in the shade Chihuahua. So yeah, that can go. This NYX Milk crayon is part of my project pan, so yeah, that can stay. Again, we've got the Urban Decay 24/7 eyeliner in the shade Perversion. That's part of the project pan, that can stay. I've been using this a lot when I wear makeup. It's really nice, just in the waterline. It's just in the shade Nude. It's by Essence. Really pretty. So that's going to stay. Again, this is part of my used up items in my project pan, even though it doesn't have a sticker on. So it's the Lower Lash mascara, so that's going to stay in. Then we've got this New Look lipstick in the shade Deep Pink. I think this was one of the ones that I did want to declutter. I'm going to keep it though because I'm not 100% sure, but I'm sure that one is getting decluttered as well. Don't even know where that's gone. This one I wanted to use under like foundations and things like that, just to get it out of my collection because it wasn't being used, and it looks really pretty, doesn't it? But it just didn't work for me, so I'm going to declutter that. Then we've got some Colourpop shadows, which I didn't get a chance to use at all. So this is part of the project pan, and it's in the shade Cheap Date. So we'll keep that in. Then there is this one, which is in the shade Hanky Panky. So that's part of the project pan. This one I finished entirely. I finished it all up, which I'm pleased about. This one, it can now go out of the collection. It's in the shade Glow. And then this one is part of the project pan. It's in the shade Shark Attack. And then we've got a highlighter in the shade Lunch Money that I didn't get a chance to use. I didn't use any of those Colourpop items. Then we've got another Colourpop item which is in the shade Aquarius, which is part of my project pan. Also part of the project pan is this Rimmel Exaggerate lip liner in the shade Call Me Crazy. Then I've got another red liner from Primark that I want to use up, part of the project pan. This one is getting decluttered. I think it's really old, so I'll just pop that in the bin as well. Also, along with that, I'm going to pop this in the bin because again, that's really old. So get rid of those. Along with the Aquarius lippy pencil, I've got the Aquarius lip liner that I want to declutter, it's in my project pan. And then lastly there is this Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I'm going to use that in conjunction with the Ciate one just to use it up a little bit quicker this month. Well, this next couple of weeks, and see how I get on. Right, and then there's all these lipsticks that I used throughout this rotation. I don't think I got too much use out of that, so I'm going to, whoops, where are you? I'm going to keep this in for this rotation, and it's the Wet n Wild in Purely Persimmon. I think that's how you pronounce it, so I'll keep that in again. I really enjoyed using this one. It's MAC Oh Sweet It and Creamy Peach Pie, but I'm going to pop that back. I used this once or twice. Love this lip gloss. I'm going to keep it in for another rotation. Love this shade as well. It's by Primark PS Pro, and it's in the shade Boudoir Pink. So that's really nice. I'm keeping that in again for another rotation. No, I'll pop that back. This one was really nice. That one can go back into my lipstick collection, and it's the Rouge Edition Velvet in, I think it's Hot Chili Pepper or something like that, but the stickers come off. This one is absolutely stunning. I love it, and it's in the shade Bare It All by Wet n Wild. Really nice. That one can go back. I thought I would be decluttering this Charlotte Tilbury one in the shade Glastonbury. I spoke about this before, not knowing whether I really like the shade, and I've decided to keep it because it did look pretty. Now, I think in the last video I said that I was going to declutter this just because it's not matte, and it's not. It's just like a really it just looks like a pigmented lip gloss, and it is in the shade I'm not sure what shade it is, to be honest, but it is pretty. I'm going to keep it for now. This is another one of those PS Velvet Whip lip creams in the semi-matte finish. I'm not 100% sure on this one, but I am going to keep it for now. It's in the shade Cherry. I'm keeping this one. It's the Too Faced Melted Matte in the shade Fig. That can stay in my drawers just to use, like, obviously as part of my project pan. This one I absolutely love. I know it's very grey toned, but it really is a pretty shade, and it's the PS Pro Kiss Proof lipstick in 02 Pink in Excess. Really like that, but that can go back in the collection. Another thing I really liked is this PS Instagirl Kiss Proof lip liner pencil. Now, because I'm panning the Kathleen Lights one, I'll pop this one back. It's in the shade, does it tell me? I can't see a shade on there. Right, so this is MAC's Velvet Teddy. Now, I made such a big deal of not liking this, but I've been wearing it and I've been liking it and liking it more and more. But I am going to pop it back in my makeup collection because I did get a lot of use out of it. So yeah, really like it, and I'm going to be keeping it. This is one of the concealers I'm using at the moment. It's a Rimmel Wake Me Up, and I really like that. So yeah, I'm gonna keep that in for another rotation. Again, this is the Too Faced Melted Matte, and it's in the shade Chocolate Honey. So that one can go in my project pan side. This I want to use up as well. It's the Lush Bubblegum Lip Scrub. I've had this forever, and I just need to use that up. So this is the Tarte Ravishing LipSurgence Lip Cream, and it doesn't tell me the shade. I think Ravishing might be the shade. I'm not 100% sure though, and I use this more like a lip balm. Then we have this, which is a Too Faced Melted Matte in the shade Child Star. Now, to be honest, I don't really think it's for me. It's the lightest shade that I've got, but I don't want to declutter it. It's such an expensive lipstick, so I will just try using it up, but I'm going to put it back in the stash of lipsticks. This is a new product to me. It's the Wet n Wild, what are these called? Mega Last Liquid Catsuits, and this is a really pretty eyeshadow. I used it in conjunction with the Primark palette with the greys in that palette, and it looked really nice. And it's in the shade Gunmetal. I'm going to pop that away though, because I have got a few cream shadow sticks like this I want to be using. This will stay in. It's the Too Faced shadow, and it's the glitter glue, so that's always going to stay in. This I pulled out when the other one wasn't working. The MUA one wasn't working, but this is absolutely stunning. Let's see. Can't do your swatch, but I can show you what it looks like. It's just a really pretty nice cream highlighter. In fact, what I want to do is keep it in for another couple of weeks and get more use out of it. Then I have this Gold Glitter by Deck of Scarlet. you can see my thumb, sorry about that. Deck of Scarlet in the shade Sparkler. This is really, really pretty. I've only used this once at Christmas, so that can stay in. So let's pop these back. Right, so all them lipsticks are going back in the collection. So then we're just moving over here. So we've got another one of those PS Velvet lip creams. This one is in the shade Chocolate, and this one is a darker one out of all the ones that I got, and I thought this one was going to get decluttered all the other, you know, over all the other ones, but I really, really do like this shade, but that can go back in the collection. Then I have the W7 Banana Dreams powder, which I really, really enjoyed using, but I do want to use some other powders, so that can go back. Also, I used the Laura Mercier brightening powder for under my eyes, just to set my concealer, and I really enjoyed using this, but again there is another powder in my collection that I want to try, so that can go back for now. This is part of my project pan and has been for a while, so that can stay. Another concealer I have been loving using is this Essence Camouflage one, but I think I'm going to be using my Revolution one, so this one can go back, just for a while anyway. I didn't get a chance to use this at all. It's the PS Eye Pigment in the shade Gold, so that can stay in. This brow pencil I used a little bit, just when I couldn't be bothered putting the powders through my products, and it worked really, really well, so I'm keeping this in. This one might be getting decluttered. It's the Ico, that's where I draw the line, and I really don't use like these kind of eyeliners, but I do want to try and use it just a little bit more. This I absolutely love for the inner corner. It's just the Stila smudge part in the shade Kitten. Really, really like that, so that'll be staying in. And then we've got some other eyeshadows that I didn't get a chance to use, which is the Stila. I've been trying to get to these for months, in Metallic Laurel, so there's that one that can stay in. Then there's the Australis Metallics, so I've got that one, which is in the shade Guns and Rose Petals. Really, really pretty. They're a creamy formula. And I've got like a bronze shade as well, which is in the shade JZ. And that's absolutely everything. Now I've got a bit of a treat for you today. I did change my all my makeup storage round a little bit. So when we go through my makeup now, you're going to get to see how I've changed everything around. I'm in particular impressed with how I store my lipsticks now. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen I posted a picture of that yesterday. But yeah, I'm really, really impressed because I can actually rotate them a lot better. But I have pulled some lipsticks out for the coming couple of weeks that I want to be testing. So what we'll do is put all this away, and then I'll be back